Ahoy! Today we are on an expedition at the Burdock Reservoir. I've heard that something interesting has shown up on its waters. Look! Do you see it in the distance? Could it be Atlantis?
What you're looking at is the floating solar photovoltaic system at Burdock Reservoir.
Oh, hi Pauline. Burdock Reservoir, this place is surrounded by residential areas, and I know this reservoir is meant to store rainwater for treatment for drinking purposes. So why are there floating solar panels out here?
Before I answer your question, let me share with you why we need solar energy. Singapore's water demand is almost expected to double by 2060. This means that we'll need more energy for all our water needs. By tapping on solar energy, which is one of the most viable sources of renewable energy in Singapore, we can ensure that our operations remain sustainable.
And I also know that PUB has been installing solar panels on the rooftops of buildings since 2015.
Yes, that is right. But at the same time, there's only so much space available on top of our buildings. We've been exploring floating solar PV systems on our reservoir. By making use of the large reservoir surface area, we're able to deploy more solar panels and generate more solar energy.
Oh, wow. How much solar energy are we looking at?
So by the end of this year, we will be able to harness about 70 megawatt peak of solar energy from both our rooftop installations and our floating solar PV systems.
PUB studies have shown that floating solar systems perform between 5 to 15% better than rooftop systems due to the cooler reservoir environment. At 1.8 hectares in size, which is about 2% of this reservoir's surface area, this solar farm has a capacity of 1.5 megawatt peak, which produces sufficient energy for 400 4-room HDB households. The reduction in carbon emissions is an amount equivalent to taking 150 cars off our roads. So Pauline, where does the energy that is generated here go?
The solar energy that is generated here is used by Burdock Pumping Station. It is also used by Burdock Waterworks that is a stone's throw away. So here at Burdock Pumping Station, the water from the reservoir is pumped to Burdock Waterworks, where it's then treated for potable use.
And all these require energy as well, right?
Yes, that is right. So at Burdock Waterworks, we actually have a rooftop solar PV system as well. And together, these two systems can supply about 30% of the energy requirements by Burdock Pumping Station and Burdock Waterworks. Did you know we also have a similar system at Lower Seletar Reservoir?
Oh, and are the numbers there around the same?
Yes, the system at Lower Seletar Reservoir is also similar in terms of capacity. It's also about 1.5 megawatt peak. So overall, our solar deployment allows us to achieve a multifunctional use of our reservoirs. We can use our reservoirs as a water storage, as a site for recreational use, as well as a site for clean energy generation.
I see. Yeah, it's such an innovative way to store all these clean energy sources, especially with the physical constraints that we have in Singapore.
Yes, but we have an even bigger floating solar PV system at Tengeh Reservoir, which marks a significant step in terms of ensuring energy sustainability for our water treatment, making Singapore one of the few countries in the world to have a 100% green waterworks system, while contributing to quadrupling our national goal for solar deployment by 2025. My colleague at SEMCOP will be able to show you around one of the world's largest inland floating solar PV system at Tengeh Reservoir.
Sounds awesome. Let's go! So now I'm at the SEMCOP Tengeh Floating Solar Farm, and this place is a whopping 45 hectares in size. That's the size of 45 football fields. At a capacity of 60 megawatt peak, it's able to generate enough energy to power 16,000 4-room HDB households. First impressions, it looks really huge. I can't wait to go and find out how this place is operated. Hey, so hi Sharon, thanks for inviting us to take an exclusive look at this place. So can you tell us more?
So Cheryl, welcome to the SEMCOP Tengeh Floating Solar Farm. So where you're standing here is the control room of the farm. In this control room, we actually monitor how well the solar farm is performing. So things that we monitor include, if you see from the screen, the wind speed, the solar irradiance, which string is producing how much energy. We're able to pinpoint what are the potential causes of trips or any reduction in energy generation. These are the things we monitor in the control room.
So what happens if, like, let's say you want an overview of the solar farm? How would you do that?
We use drones to carry out operation and maintenance of the solar farms. Before we actually completed the commissioning, we also use drone electroluminescence technology. So this allows us to detect if there were any defects in the solar panels before we actually commission the plant. This way, we can actually check and make sure that if there's any defects, we can replace the panels immediately so that we have a fully functioning solar panel right at the start.
Oh, that's super cool, using drones to, have an overview.
So now let me show you what this solar panel is made of. So this is the solar panel we use in the solar farm. So these are dual glass monocrystalline solar panel. So you see both sides there's glass and solar cells on the underside as well. So this ensures high yield in the solar generation, and it is supported by these floats over here. So each of these solar panel, we have 122,000 of them. They weigh 30 kilograms. So you need 2 men to carry it.
Are you sure? I'm sure I could carry it.
Sure.
Okay, let me try. Wow, indeed, it's very heavy.
The floats are carefully selected. So these are HDPE floats. They are food grade certified as well as corrosion resistant and UV resistant. We selected them to actually survive the design life of 25 years of the floating solar farm.
Oh, you mentioned food grade. Why do they need to be food grade?
Because this is a drinking water reservoir, so the materials that we choose, including these floats, we make sure that they are safe for the drinking water reservoir environment.
Indeed, as the reservoirs are used as water catchment, it is critical to ensure that the water quality is not affected. Therefore, the system is designed to allow for spaces between the solar panel arrays to allow sufficient sunlight and air to enter the water, thereby minimizing any impacts to our water quality and supporting aquatic life. Aerators are also deployed to maintain the dissolved oxygen levels in the water, and as Sharon has explained earlier, the floats are designed to not compromise on water quality. And Sharon, have there been any impact on the wildlife in the area?
So far there has been no observable impact on the environment. Before we carry out construction, during and after construction, we have been monitoring non-stop. So within the water, we have water quality sensors. Help us monitor the water temperature, the amount of dissolved oxygen, and above the water, of course, we have camera traps to tell us, which are the account of animal observations that we have. So far we have seen eagles flying over, we have grey herons visiting us, as well as the otter family who comes here every day.
Wow, so they've pretty much been used to this in their home already. It's been a really insightful trip here, and I didn't know that there were so many factors that go into consideration when designing this solar system over here. So yeah, thanks so much for showing us around today.
No worries. Sembcorp Tengah Floating Solar Farm is Sembcorp's crown jewel, the portfolio. So we're very glad that we've had this opportunity to carry out this project together with QB. So we're hopeful and that this is the start of more floating solar farms in Singapore.
Wow, that was such an electrifying trip, and I've learned so much about these clean energy powerhouses afloat on our reservoirs. They've indeed helped achieve a significant milestone towards a more sustainable Singapore. Now, if you're not already on the Untamed Reboot platform, do head over there, answer some questions and complete your missions. And stay tuned for more exciting videos, missions and quizzes coming your way in Untamed 2021, rebooting our world. Till then, stay curious and stay untamed.